All right, let's talk about cannabis edibles. Maybe you're curious, but you're just not sure where to even begin. Hey, you are definitely not alone in that. So, in the next few minutes, we're going to break down everything you need to know so you can navigate them safely and, confidently.
I get it. It can feel, well, pretty overwhelming with all the info out there. That's exactly why we put this together, to kind of cut through all that noise and give you just the essentials, the stuff you actually need for making an informed, safe choice. So here's our game plan, and it's super simple. First, we'll cover the basics. What even are edibles? Then we're going to decode the label, so you know exactly what you're getting. After that, we'll get into the most important part, finding your dose. And we'll talk about why patience is everything, and finish up with a quick but important note on safety.
Okay, so let's jump right in at the very beginning. What exactly are we talking about when we say edibles? At their core, it's actually this simple. Edibles are just food or drink products that have had cannabis compounds infused into them. That's it. Now, this way of consuming is totally different from smoking or vaping, and that is a really key thing to keep in mind as we go.
And wow, the options out there today, they are incredibly diverse. I mean, we've gone way beyond the classic brownie. You can find cannabis infused into drinks, all kinds of candies, chocolates. You can even find infused butters or oils to cook with at home. Now, all this variety is awesome, but it also means it's more important than ever to know what you're looking for on that label.
Okay, let's say you found a product, and it looks interesting. Before you even think about consuming it, the single most important step happens right now, reading the package. Seriously, this is your #1 tool for a safe and good experience.
Just think of it as a simple 3-step check. 1. Scan the ingredients. You're looking for any potential allergens. 2. Find that expiration date. You want to make sure it's fresh. And 3, this is the big one, verify the potency. That number is going to tell you exactly how strong each serving is.
And let's double down on that first step because it is so critical. A lot of edibles are made with common allergens, things like coconut oil, butter, or even alcohol-based tinctures. So if you have any food allergies at all, reading that ingredient list isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential for your safety.
All right, this brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most critical section for any beginner: dosage. Seriously, if you remember only one thing from this entire guide, make it this mantra: start low and go slow.
And this chart really says it all. See that beginner level? Your target dose is right there, up to 5 milligrams. Not 10, definitely not 20, just 5. For your first time, sticking to this beginner dose is the single most important thing you can do to make sure you have a positive experience. So let's just hammer this point home. 5 milligrams. That's the magic number. A lot of products, like gummies, come in 10 milligram pieces, which means, yep, you're going to start with just half. I know it might seem really small, but with edibles, less is always more when you're starting out. You just got to trust the process.
Okay, so you've taken your 5 milligram dose. Now comes the hardest part of the entire experience: waiting. And really understanding why you need to wait is the absolute key to avoiding the #1 mistake that beginners make.
It all comes down to biology, really. When you inhale something, the compounds go straight to your brain through your lungs. It's super fast. But with edibles, it's a much longer journey. The cannabis has to be digested first, then it goes to your liver to be processed, and that whole trip can take up to 2 hours. And get this, that process in the liver actually converts the THC into a more potent form. It's why the effect can feel stronger and last way longer. So please, if you don't feel anything after 30 minutes or even an hour, remember this and do not take more. Just be patient.
So let's talk about the big fear, right? What happens if you ignore the advice, get impatient, and accidentally take too much? First things first, don't panic. There's a plan for this.
Yeah, it's really important to be honest here. Taking too much it's not pleasant. It can lead to some really intense feelings of paranoia and anxiety, and it can just be super uncomfortable.
But look, if you ever find yourself in that situation, the game plan is actually simple, even if it feels hard in the moment. Find a safe, cozy spot. Just focus on staying calm and breathing as normally as you can. Remember, the feeling will pass. Your body just needs time to process everything, and I promise you, it will.
And maybe the most important takeaway here is to turn an uncomfortable experience into a learning one. Just remember how much you took and make a mental note to take less next time. Think of it like this: Every single experience, good or bad, is just more data to help you figure out what works for you.
So there you have it. We've covered the what, the how, and the what if. You now have the foundation you need to be a really informed consumer. So the final question really is for you. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, what does a safe, responsible, and positive journey with edibles look like for you?